Good evening. At a time when India and Pakistan are exchanging fire at the border, the Nobel Committee sprang a surprise today, awarding an Indian and a Pakistani, one a Hindu, the other a Muslim, this year's Nobel Peace Prize. Welcome to the news tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. My name is Zakir Jacob. First up, a look at the top stories that we're tracking tonight. Bachpan Bachao Andolan founder Kailash Satyarthi shares the Nobel Peace Prize for 2014 with Pakistan's child rights activist Malala Yousafzai. The Delhi High Court directs Om Prakash Chautala to surrender by Saturday. The former Haryana Chief Minister denies the CBI's charge of violating bail conditions. Just 5 days ahead of the assembly elections in Maharashtra, both the BJP and the Shiv Sena released their respective party manifestos. Cyclonic storm Hudhud intensifies. National disaster relief teams are on standby both for evacuation and support in Andhra Pradesh and in Odisha. And protesters are back on the streets of Hong Kong after the government there cancels the talks at the very last minute. And our top story tonight, Indian Kailash Satyarthi and Pakistani Malala Yousafzai jointly share the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize. They were chosen for their work on child rights and right to education for children. This is the first time that an Indo-Pak combination has been chosen for this prestigious Peace Prize. Mr. Satyarthi is the second Indian after Mother Teresa to win this award. At a time when bullets are flying across the border, this is a humble reminder of the importance of peace in the subcontinent.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided that the Nobel Peace Prize for 2014 is to be awarded to Kailash Satyarthi and Malala Yousafzai.
An Indian and a Pakistani, a Hindu and a Muslim. 60-year-old Kailash Satyarthi and 17-year-old Malala Yousafzai share the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize. They may be vastly different in nationality, religion, age and gender, but Satyarthi and Malala share one common goal, the emancipation of children. 60-year-old Kailash Satyarthi is the founder of Bachpan Bachao Andolan, India's first most prominent child rights NGO. He has been at the forefront of rescuing children from forced labor and trafficking. At his home in Delhi, the Nobel winner is much wanted man among friends, well-wishers and a host of eager news channels. Satyarthi dedicated this award to all the children he has rescued over the years.
It's a great honor for all those children who are deprived of their childhood globally. It's an honor to all my fellow Indians who have got this honor. It's not just an honor for me, it's honor for all those who were fighting against child labor globally.
Everyone in the country, from the president to the vice president to the prime minister, have sent in their congratulations. People who have worked closely with Satyarthi have only words of praise for the man.
Now Kailash Satyarthi in Pakistan, Malala, it's a message that if government fails you, the world doesn't. People have all to come together to recognize that the change is because of these social reformers who are continuing to serve the country, serve their people out of love.
Great movement, not only for Bachpan Bachao Andolan, but for whole of the country, that Indian has got a Nobel Peace Prize.
Across the border, 17-year-old Malala is already a child rights superstar. She shot to limelight in 2012, standing up to Taliban militants who pumped bullets into her for advocating education for girls.
One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution.
At a time when India and Pakistan are engaged in a tense face-off at the border, the timing of this award couldn't be more conspicuous. In the words of the committee,
it's an important point for a Hindu and a Muslim, an Indian and a Pakistani to join in a common struggle for education and against extremism.
So will the Peace Prize help calm tensions along the border? Watch this space. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And we're pleased to be joined by the man of the moment, the man that all of India is proud of, Kailash Satyarthi, 2014 Nobel Peace Prize winner. Welcome to Rajya Sabha television. First of all, many congratulations. This is a big honor for yourself, for your organization, as well as for the entire nation. I want to know, how and when did you get to know of this news? Did you refer to the news channels for it, or did you get a call from the Peace Committee itself? And what was your initial reaction when you got this? Because surely this was unexpected, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually I got the news from the media before I got a call from the Peace Prize Committee. So it was a big surprise for me. Of course, I knew that I have been nominated by some friends and important people, some of the human rights champions, but I didn't know that it is going to happen like that. So I came for my routine work and suddenly I got this news.
How does this award help take your work forward? You've, of course, championed the cause of children, extricating children out of child labor, the whole problem of child trafficking. How does this award help take that cause forward, if at all it does?
Yeah, so I was quite surprised, but I am thankful to the Peace Committee as well as I know that this is going to be the biggest ever recognition to the issue of child labor in particular and child rights in general. This is an honor, an award for hundreds of millions of those children who are still languishing in slavery and held in bonded labor. While I'm talking to you, millions of children must be working somewhere in the mines and factories and homes and so on. So I remember them very passionately right now, and I'm sure that it will give a big impetus to the fight against child labor and big strength to the activists globally, as well as it will help in giving more visibility and attention to this issue.
Now, one of the problems, and you've referred to this in the past as well, is that the issue of child rights, which should essentially remain apolitical, gets politicized in a country like ours. Any thoughts or ideas now that the spotlight is going to be on this issue because of this award? How do you make an issue like child rights apolitical or at least insulated from politics? We have a tweet from the Prime Minister congratulating you on the award today.
I hope that when the country is celebrating this prize, because this goes to the great democracy, it goes to the great civilization and culture and values of our society, and this goes to over 100 crore, 125 crore people. So it becomes their moral responsibility in a way to wipe out the scourge of child slavery and child labor from the face of Mother India. It's our collective responsibility, and we have to work together as a nation. And since it's a national call, which has to be answered by the people of my country.
And very quickly, you're sharing this award with 17-year-old Malala Yousafzai from Pakistan. Have you had a chance to speak with her or interact with her before? Your thoughts on her work across the border in Pakistan? And very quickly, the timing of this award, at a time when we have a tense standoff at the border, is this another reminder that peace is important between India and Pakistan?
Well, I don't think that such decisions by the Nobel Peace Committee are taken in such a short time.
Okay.
It must be a long preparation or long investigation, whatever they have done, I don't know. But it's not so fast. So my sense is that despite all this, it is a big statement from the Nobel Committee that these two countries need peace. And I know Malala personally for quite some time, and we shared some international fora recently also. And I'm going to call her once I'm free from the media and ask her that on one hand we should keep on strengthening our fight against child labor and against illiteracy of girls in our own way. But more importantly, we should try to fight to create an environment where the children could be born and grow in peaceful environment, in peace, so that they can enjoy fullest of their childhood and fullest of freedom and education.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Satyarthi, for joining us here on the news tonight. We'll let you go so that you can make that call to Malala Yousafzai, who you'll be sharing the award with. Kailash Satyarthi there, the winner of the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize. Now, call it the Nobel effect, if you will, but there's been a significant de-escalation of hostilities along the border between India and Pakistan. There was some shelling nonetheless. The Border Security Force targeted about half a dozen outposts on the other side of the border. The count so far in 10 days of firing, 8 Indians and 9 Pakistanis killed.
On a day when India and Pakistan cheered the announcement of the Nobel Peace Prize, the guns were subdued on the international border in Jammu and Kashmir. There was no firing along the border in Jammu and Samba districts. However, Pakistani firing continued along the border on 4 BSF outposts in the Hiranagar sector of Katwa district for 20 minutes. There was, however, no loss of life or damage. After 9 days of non-stop shelling, 32,000 people fled their border homes, leaving 113 hamlets deserted along the international border.
पड़ोसी की दहशत से तो जा रहे हैं सभी जी है ना बम वगैरह जो अभी रात को शेलिंग हुई थी अभी 400-500 मीटर हमारे दूर तो रात को हुई थी शेलिंग उसी डर से सभी जा रहे हैं
The cross-border firing killed 8 people on the Indian side. 90 people were injured, including 13 security men. Pakistan violated the ceasefire over a dozen times since the 1st of October. Indian army officials attributed the spurt in the violence to the militant leadership's plans to disrupt the upcoming assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir. They also say that Pakistan is desperate to push in large number of militants into the Indian side to carry out terror attacks. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the program. When we return, fresh trouble for Congress MP Shashi Tharoor. The final forensic report from AIIMS now saying his late wife Sunanda Pushkar was poisoned to death and it was not because of drug overdose. News Tonight returns in 2 minutes. Welcome back to the news tonight. We're continuing to track all the heat and dust from the campaign trail in the run-up to the elections in Haryana and Maharashtra. Verdict 2014. So, just 5 days to go before the Haryana Assembly elections, the Delhi High Court has directed INLD chief Om Prakash Chautala to return to jail. Now, the court's verdict was in reply to a CBI plea seeking cancellation of interim bail to Mr. Chautala. The former Chief Minister of Haryana, convicted in a teacher's recruitment scam, will have to surrender by Saturday. Now,
former Haryana Chief Minister Om Prakash Chautala had been campaigning in Haryana for the assembly polls for the past few days. In his rallies, he even vowed to take oath from jail if his party is elected to power again. Chautala was granted bail on medical grounds in May this year after being convicted in the teachers' recruitment scam. CBI raised hue and cry that he violated his bail conditions by campaigning. Summoned to appear personally in Delhi High Court on Friday afternoon, Chautala denied CBI's charges against him.
कोर्ट क्या करेगी ये तो कोर्ट पे डिपेंड करता है लेकिन कोई मेरे साथ मेरी बेल पे कोई कंडीशन नहीं थी.
But the court's verdict directing him to go back to Tihar jail has ended his chances of campaigning further in these elections. Delhi High Court has banned him from addressing any more election meetings in Haryana, where he has served 4 terms as the chief minister.
जो दोषी पाया गया है उसको आपने मेडिकल बेल पे रिहा किया है और मेडिकल बेल का मतलब है इलाज के लिए और उसमें बोला गया था कि वो वेदांता में एडमिटेड हैं, उनको हार्ट डिजीज़ है और होगा भी. तो अब इस प्रिटेक्स्ट में बाहर आके आप फुल फ्लेज कैंपेनिंग कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब आपकी तबीयत ठीक है, तो फिर आपने एक प्रकार से कोर्ट के साथ छल किया है.
The court's order comes as a blow to INLD only days before the polls. The party is looking to return to power after a gap of 10 years. It remains to be seen if Chautala's absence from campaigns will affect its chances. With inputs from Ravindra Shoran and Vishal Dahiya, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
now, less than 3 days left for campaigning. Political bigwigs have intensified their campaign across the state of Maharashtra. Prime Minister Narendra Modi continued with his rigorous campaigning in the state. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi also held rallies today in Pune and Nashik. Both did not mince any words in attacking each other.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed back-to-back rallies on Friday in Chandrapur, Dhamangaon and Hingoli. However, he was not his usual self. Sore throat forced him to speak for only a few minutes.
मैं आपका हूं
Even then, he hit back at the criticisms thrown at him by the opposition in the last few rallies.
देश की जनता ने कांग्रेस पार्टी को क्या नहीं दिया, 60 साल तक सत्ता दी, गरीबी के नाम पर वोट लिए, लेकिन कभी गरीबों का भला नहीं किया। अब इस देश में कांग्रेस पार्टी दोबारा जीवित होने की संभावना नहीं है।
Returning to campaign in Maharashtra after a gap of a day, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi took on Modi for his call of a Congress-free Maharashtra. He also accused the centre of working for the benefit of industrialists at the expense of the poor.
पहले अच्छे दिन आएंगे, अब जल्दी ठीक हो जाएगा। प्याज के दाम बढ़े, जल्दी ठीक हो जाएगा। पाकिस्तान ने फायरिंग की, जल्दी ठीक हो जाएगा। चीन की आर्मी आई, जल्दी ठीक हो जाएगा। प्लान क्या है मैं आपको बताता हूं। इनका आपके जेब में से उद्योगपति के अंदर ट्रांसफर है। हम पैसा आपके पास भेजते थे, ये पैसा आपसे उठाकर उधर भेज रहे हैं।
BSP Supremo Mayawati ended her 4-day campaign in Maharashtra with her rallies in Bhandara and Nagpur. The party is contesting on almost all seats and is aiming to make a significant impact in the state. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Meanwhile, former allies now estranged, Shiv Sena and BJP have both announced their poll manifestos for Maharashtra. The BJP, very interestingly, steered clear of the controversial Vidarbha issue. The party in the past has said it supports a separate state of Vidarbha. It did have a lot on offer for farmers, for youth, as well as for senior citizens. The Shiv Sena, on the other hand, talked about inclusive growth in its manifesto.
Contesting against each other for the first time in decades, BJP and Shiv Sena unveiled their plans for Maharashtra. Their manifestos for the assembly polls focused on various sections of the society. BJP promised to ensure accountability for government officials. It also claims to provide a single window process for all government-related works. The party also proposed welfare schemes for farmers, youth and seniors. For Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray unveiled the party's roadmap for the next 5 years. Promising to focus on inclusive growth, the manifesto has something for every section of voters. Sena promised to improve the conditions of farmers and weavers. The party has proposed to build houses for those residing in slums. It has also proposed to develop Navi Mumbai further. Uddhav claimed to make the state toll-free if elected. He has also promised to build a museum named after Shivaji. Both parties severed their 25-year-old ties last month after their talks failed to iron out differences over share of seats. The two parties decided to go alone in the assembly polls. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And in case you want more of all the election-related buzz and stories from the campaign trail, you can watch our special election bulletin. It's Verdict 2014 every day at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. here on Rajya TV. Other news now, and all efforts are being made to deal with cyclone Hudhud. It's turned into a severe cyclonic storm. The cyclone is expected to bring heavy rains both to coastal Andhra Pradesh as well as Odisha. Adequate arrangements are being made to evacuate people in low-lying areas in all the coastal districts in both these states.
With Hudhud cyclone barely a few hundred kilometers away from making a landfall, the Met Department announced that it has turned into a very severe cyclonic storm, packing wind speeds of up to 140 kilometers per hour.
Cyclone Hudhud has now been become a very severe cyclonic storm and lay centered at latitude 15 degree north and longitude 86.8 degree east.
The cyclone is expected to hit the coast of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh on Sunday. Home Minister Rajnath Singh spoke to the Chief Ministers of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Telangana on the steps to deal with the situation. 20 teams of the NDRF have been deployed in the coastal districts of the three states and 250 army personnel are on standby in Vizag to assist the administration.
The National Disaster Response Force from Delhi have mobilized its teams to the coastal area which is likely to be hit by the cyclone. We have mobilized 33 teams so far. The strength of one team is 45.
In Andhra Pradesh, heavy to very heavy rain is expected in Srikakulam, Vizianagaram, Vishakhapatnam and East Godavari districts from Saturday evening. Local residents have been evacuated to safer areas, while fishermen have been told not to venture into the sea. 4 Indian naval ships are on standby to reach the most affected areas to dispense humanitarian aid.
దసరా నుంచి బోట్లు కూడా వెళ్ళలేదండి ఆటలకు వెళ్దామని సమయంలోనూ తుఫాన్ అనేసి అటెండ్మెంట్ చేయవలన
Hudhud will be the second major cyclone after Palin that hit the eastern coast in October last year. Although Palin was also designated as a very severe cyclonic storm with wind speeds of 220 kilometers per hour, Hudhud may not be as severe but could cause heavy damage. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now all the other news and updates across the country. Here's our special segment, Nationwide. Vice President Hamid Ansari released the international edition of the Encyclopedia of Hinduism at a function here in New Delhi. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat was the special guest of honor. The encyclopedia caps a 25-year effort by almost 1,000 scholars to document one of the world's oldest living traditions. The Dalai Lama had launched the Indian edition back in 2010 in Rishikesh.
The well-known Dutch publishing house specializing in works on humanities and international law, published the first 5 volumes of Brill's Encyclopedia of Hinduism between the year 2009 and this year. A 6th volume is to follow. In the world of today, the need for such collections of knowledge on a full range of subjects is evident. Available evidence shows that the encyclopedia industry is now flourishing.
Doctors from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences today submitted a fresh autopsy report stating that poisoning caused the death of Sunanda Pushkar. Sunanda, the wife of former Union Minister Shashi Tharoor, was found dead in a 5-star hotel here in Delhi back on the 17th of January. After the latest revelation, the Delhi police have been asked to re-examine this case. The Gujarat High Court scrapped the 2-judge investigation panel that was looking into allegations of snooping on a woman by the Gujarat government. The High Court quashed the panel in response to a petition filed by the woman's family saying it breached their privacy. The commission was investigating the role of then Home Minister Amit Shah. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg today met Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well as Information and Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. Zuckerberg and Prasad discussed ways to help the government meet its ambitious target of connecting 1 billion people onto the internet. Now, today is National Mental Health Day. The central government took the opportunity to launch the nation's first ever policy to provide for more institutions as well as easy access for mentally ill people to get treated. Now, according to the World Health Organization, about 20% of India's population will suffer from some form of mental illness by 2020. The new policy aims to address the severe shortfall of psychiatric staff to treat patients. It's likely to be followed by the mental health bill that could be introduced as early as the coming winter session of Parliament.
निम्स लाइक हम इंस्टीट्यूट्स के अंदर देश के अंदर बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स को एक एक करके परिवर्तित करेंगे. इनकी केयर से जुड़े हुए जो भी प्रोग्राम्स देश भर में बनाए जाएंगे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स के द्वारा म्युनिसिपल बॉडीज के द्वारा.
All right, another break here on the program. When we come back, all the international stories. And it's been over a month and still no trace of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He was expected to attend a tribute for his late father Kim Jong-il today. We'll get you those stories and all the other global stories when the News Tonight returns. Welcome back to the News Tonight. Focus now on all the international stories. Now, there's been a major blow to the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong. The government has called off the talks which were scheduled for this evening at the very last minute, saying that the protesters were shifting the goalpost. But instead of dampening the protests, organizers are now saying they're going to redouble their efforts and get even more crowds than before to occupy Hong Kong for a second time.
Occupy Hong Kong Act 2. Protesters are back on the streets, unfazed by the government cancelling talks at the very last minute. Hundreds of protesters were camped out in Causeway Bay and Admiralty one the financial center, the other the seat of power. But protest organizers warn this may just be the beginning. Crowds are expected to swell over the weekend.
Only through gathering more people and gathering the power, we could show the government that Hong Kong people will not give up, and we will keep putting pressure on the government unless the government gives any concrete proposal on solving the constitutional issue.
I think people will come back because maybe this is the last chance for us, for the people. They trying to say about what they want, they really want, about the true democracy.
The government's decision to call off the talks scheduled for Friday came as anti-corruption officers initiated an investigation against Chief Executive Siva Leong. He is accused of taking kickbacks to the tune of $7 million from an Australian engineering company. But the Chief Secretary of Hong Kong blamed the students for the talks being cancelled.
With much regret, based on the public remarks made by the student representatives over these 2 days, especially this afternoon, I realize that the basis for a constructive dialogue between us and the students has been seriously undermined.
As the drama unfolded on the streets of Hong Kong, across the straits on the mainland, Chinese authorities issued a statement saying foreign governments should refrain from interfering in Hong Kong. A statement that's only likely to further infuriate angry protesters. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And staying with East Asia, the mystery surrounding the whereabouts of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un deepened today when he seemed to have missed a ceremony to pay tribute to his late father as well as his grandfather. Now, Kim's name was not in the list of attendees on the 69th anniversary of the Workers' Party of North Korea.
Video images showing North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un walking with a pronounced limp. For over a month since 3rd of September, the day he was last sighted in public, Kim's whereabouts have been a topic of instant speculation among the global community. Friday was an especially important day for Kim to make an appearance. But he remained absent from an early state media coverage of the event to celebrate the founding of North Korea's Workers' Party. Kim has, however, in the past commemorated it with a post-midnight visit to the Pyongyang mausoleum, where bodies of his father and grandfather are interred. But despite the absence, South Korea feels his leadership looks normal, and there's not enough to suggest that Kim's been sidelined in a power struggle.
지난 북측 고위 대표단 방문 시 김정은이 항병서 정치국장을 통해 대통령님께 인사말을 전달하였고, 그리고 북한 내부에서도 그 김정일 리더십 관련한 사항을 지속적으로 제시하고 있는 점 등으로 미루어 보아 김정은의 통치는 정상적으로 이루어지고 있는 것으로 보입니다.
31-year-old Kim is believed to have hurt his leg while taking part in military exercises. It is also speculated that he may have aggravated an earlier injury. Another theory suggests that Kim suffers from gout worsened by his love of fine wines and Swiss cheese that he has reported to import in bulk, despite official sanctions against North Korea. Kim rapidly gained weight since coming to power after his father died of a heart attack in 2011. Western observers say the longer Kim remains away from the public eye, the stronger will be the speculation about his hold on North Korea. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And finally, today is the 108th birth anniversary of iconic writer R.K. Narayan, the creator of the fictional town of Malgudi. He's remembered for many popular works, including Swami and Friends, The Bachelor of Arts, and The English Teacher. As we wrap up the news tonight, we leave you with these glimpses of Malgudi Days, the classic TV serial that was based on Narayan's book. Thanks for your time. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
स्वामीनाथन, भारत में अंग्रेजों ने पहला कदम कहाँ रखा? मालगुडी सर।